NKC art. Okay, in order to make your 3D or three-dimensional cityscape, open a new paper, zoom out so you can see the whole thing, and then pick black for your color. Go over to your technical pen and pick about maybe around a 6 or 7 for your line size. Keep the opacity at 100%. And then when you go to your paper, you're going to draw these shapes that are like triangles on the top and then like long rectangles on the bottom. These are going to be our skyscrapers. Zoom in on each one and make sure your lines are touching. That'll save you some time later when we go to put these, put color in these buildings. Then just start adding more buildings to your skyline. You can make them look like they're overlapping by having one like come out from the other building. Then you'll add some to the left and to the right of this. So I might add like a building right here. And then when I'm done, go back and then make like a taller building behind it. So the smaller one is overlapping in the front. And just kind of fill in your entire row of buildings. Again, make sure your lines are touching. Once you're done, let me get my last building here. Back arrow, fix that one, make it again. Once you're done, what you're going to do is you're going to go up to the very tops of your triangles, and you're going to draw a straight line from the tip all the way down to the bottom. This is what's going to give the illusion that the building is three-dimensional, and like you can see the sides of the buildings. So on every shape that you created, go ahead and make that straight line from the very tip all the way down to the bottom. And then once we do this, you're going to be adding some windows to like the right side of the buildings. I'm leaving them off the left side just so you can kind of differentiate the different buildings next to each other better. So all I'm doing is freehand drawing. You can use like the shape tool at the top that has the square shapes if you want like perfect squares. But for the style of this building, I think I just like my freehand squares. So go down to all your buildings and fill in all of your windows. Make sure again your lines are touching. When you get done, choose the color that you want. I'm going to use cool colors for my buildings and then warm colors in the back. So my buildings are going to be like green, blue, and purples. You can do the opposite if you want to do warm colors on your buildings. You can use yellow, oranges, and reds. But what I'm going to do is pick out my cool colors that I like, and then just go in with my paint bucket tool and fill in the windows with that color. So I'm going to just kind of hop around doing like every other building. Then I can go back with like greens and purples and make some of the windows those colors. If you happen to touch a line and it turns it all a different color, you can always use the back arrow tool and you can correct that so that your lines are still black. I missed this one shape right there. I'm going to turn the line black and then go back in and get my purple. Okay, when you're done, what you're going to do, I want kind of a watercolor look to this. So I'm going to get my watercolor brush. And then at the top, there's like a little rectangle with like a dotted line. You want to choose that. Hold on just a second. I don't want my paint bucket tool. You're going to choose the tool with the dotted line and the arrow. And then make the tolerance all the way up to the top. So, let's see. No, I think we'll do it like that. And then once you select the area you want to fill in, you can go back into the watercolor brush and you can paint it. So it looks sort of like watercolor than just using your paint bucket tool, if that makes sense. So I'm going to use that tool again at the top. It's that rectangle with the arrow on it. And I just go to the lasso tool and my tolerance is all the way to the right. And then I just click the area that I want to shade in, color in. This allows me to be able to color in with watercolor and not get it in any of the other shapes or parts of the building. When I do the other side of the building, I'm just going to get like a lighter purple just to kind of give it a little bit more dimension. So when I did The left side of the building is a little darker purple, and now I'm using a lighter purple. But I'm doing the same thing. I'm getting that lasso tool. I'm clicking in the area that I want to color in. I'm going in, getting my watercolor brush, and then I'm filling in that area that I selected with my watercolor brush to give it just kind of a feel that it's a watercolor painting instead of just filling it in. I'm going to mix it up and get some greens for my building. So I'm going to use dark green on the left side, and I'm going to get a lighter green to fill in my right side. But I'm basically doing the same thing, going up, getting that lasso tool, clicking in where I want to color, and then being able to paint in there without going in to like the other lines of my other shapes. So I'm just going to continue to do that. And then my last buildings, I'm going to go ahead and make blue. Like I said, a darker blue on the left side, a lighter blue on the right side, just to kind of give it the look that maybe there's like a lighting source. And as I fill those in, I'm using the lasso tool. Go back in and fill the right side of the buildings. We will do the background next week. So when you're done, just go ahead and make sure you save this to your gallery. And then just send me a picture of what you did today. Don't forget to submit it to Canvas.